Good afternoon, this is Jeff of Sewer Tech Northwest. You're at property address 740 North Little Oak Street here in Newburgh. Located just out in front of the front door here, we've got a 3-inch ABS cleanout. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Alright, water's running, we are zeroed out, and off we go here. Got some level of grease buildup in the line thus far, and we'll see how far that persists down line. It's not an outrageous sum of grease buildup. It's kind of at that point where I start considering whether to recommend cleaning or not. The thing that's good is I haven't seen it in a continuous layer yet. There's still a pathway through it. We just transitioned there over to 4-inch 3034 PVC. Far, nice looking sewer line. A little bit of grease buildup, but structurally good line. And what grease buildup can do is it just makes your lines stickier. At the level this is at, it mostly makes it harder for improper items like paper towels, wipes, things like that shouldn't go down your line but do. Makes it harder for them to get out. But this is nowhere near the point where the grease buildup would just be causing a blockage on its own. And then there's the main, 62 feet. We're going to go locate that really quick here while the pipe drains out, and then we'll have another look at everything. There's enough grease buildup end to end throughout the line. I'm probably going to recommend a cleaning on it. Just understand that this is not at a point right now where, again, it's going to be just causing blockages on its own. It would mostly be a preventative measure, especially if you have little kids in the household that are still balling their toilet paper up, stuff like that. It's situations of that nature where this level of grease buildup can affect things. It makes a balled up toilet paper blockage a more stubborn one and less likely to break loose on its own. If you're treating your line properly, folding your toilet paper, things like that, it's a level of grease buildup that's very unlikely to affect things. Alrighty, located the camera head successfully. We're going to go ahead and pull back in here. The line terminates out on Little Oak. And based on that locate, it looks like the line, all said and done, ends up kind of veering under the driveway and runs down just, maybe a couple feet inside that left side edge of the driveway. That's as you face the house from the street. Still a little bit of water trickling off here. Some of that's because my camera has kind of dislodged some of this grease buildup, and you can see how some of this is, here's a good example. Some of this is paper products here. You can see how it's not just pure grease, which honestly actually makes the stuff slough off even easier. And the grease gets kind of impregnated into the toilet paper products, that often breaks loose much easier than if it's just pure grease buildup. We'll see how we're looking here as we come back out. Right now I'm going to recommend some cleaning on it, but again, not a dire scenario. There's just enough in here. I can recommend it, but again, it's only going to be under certain circumstances where that would actually have any effect on flow. And all this stuff originates, generally speaking, from your kitchen sink drain, so you can mitigate the buildup entirely. You just have to build that habit into your life, not to put grease down the line. You can mitigate the buildup. So if you do go through the effort of cleaning it, we're going to actually turn around here as long as the clean out allows. It's relatively thick as you come back in here. It would be a nice thing to get that cleaned. Yeah, and you've got some pretty good thick stuff right here going back into the house. That right there is approaching an inch thick. It's almost as tall as my camera head is. So I am going to recommend some cleaning on the line. There's enough of it on the inside here that it would be worthwhile to get that cleaned. The closer in the grease buildup is, the more likely it is to actually result in a blockage / backup scenario. Because if you were to get a blockage on the inside of your house or underneath the home, you don't have the same opportunity to build up head pressure as you do on the outside to help push the blockage through. So my camera's coming out with quite a bit of it on it, so this is a situation where I'm going to recommend some cleaning on it. It's a bit thicker the closer in you get to the house. If you do end up getting the line cleaned, I do recommend re-scoping the line to check the work just to make sure it was done. And you want to make sure that when the cleaners come out, they don't just run the machine through the exterior, they also do the interior. A lot of jet guys show up and just handle the outside, but this is a situation where you want to deal with the interior. It's thicker closer into the home than it is getting away from the house. So it's the more important part of the line. If you're going to pick and choose, in this case I would obviously do both ends of the line, but if, you know, for example, if you had to pick one end of the line to do, I would be cleaning the inside versus the outside. Anyway, other than that, great looking sewer line. No bellies, offset joints, root intrusions, anything. Structurally, very nice looking sewer line there. It could just use some cleaning. The line is functioning at this time, draining slower than it should due to the grease buildup. You can see the debris that it's hanging up. After cleaning, you'll have a nicely flowing, functioning sewer line, and you'll have mitigated any blockage risk based on that grease buildup there.